Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to this week's Mental Monday. So, before I go into the video for this week, I wanted to explain a little why there was no video yesterday. I was super jammed with homework, and I had some technology issues for even turning my homework in. So that took up all of my time the second half of the day, and the first half I was at church. So it just did not end up working out. The day went crazy with homework and trying to get that figured out and turned in. So I apologize there was no planning video, but next week there will be, and I hope you enjoy it. So this week for Mental Monday, I wanted to talk about something that, as usual, is super applicable for me right now, and that is emotional and mental exhaustion. So I feel like there's a difference that isn't always completely understood with being physically exhausted and tired and being emotionally and mentally exhausted and tired. And a lot of the time when I say I'm tired, I think that's more what I mean, unless I'm like yawning and just really needing to go to bed. Most of the time when I say I'm tired, that's what I mean. I'm doing a lot of work right now in school because I'm taking 2 classes at once, and it's heavy, like, mental brain work for all of the schoolwork that it entails. So it can easily get exhausted, especially because I am taking a abnormal psychology and kind of psychopathy class. So there's a lot of intense case studies that we look at. There's a lot of intense disorders that we're looking at, and then you're applying it and saying, okay, how would you treat this? How would you work with a client with this? And look at this case study, and how would you help this person? And so it's a lot of brain work. It's a lot of mental focus and just work, because it is not easy stuff. It's great. It's really fun. I have been having so much fun applying everything I know and going through the case studies and really working and thinking through, like, how would I work with this person? So that has been amazing and so much fun, but it's still a lot of work, and it's still heavy stuff. You're talking about trauma, you're talking about mental disorders. It's a lot. And along with everything else that's going on in our life right now, it's just a lot. So found myself feeling more and more mentally and emotionally kind of drained and tired. And I think there are different ways you could go about getting out of that. Kind of like burnout, but burnout's also, you're dropping the plate on things because you have too much going on at once, which of course, yes, is the case also. There's more the, like, what do you do to shut that off? How do you teach yourself to shut your brain off and let it rest? And that doesn't necessarily mean going to bed. Not always. So how to work through or heal from or refresh your mental emotional capacity. For me, I feel like this is a key thing that I was trying to work through when I worked through burnout, when I was trying to figure it out, trying to figure out what to do. There's always the element, especially right now, of, yeah, taking less things at a time would be very good, and getting some things off my plate is definitely a goal. But there's also, if I'm doing these things either way, if I'm applying these things, because if it's not one thing, it's going to be another. No season of life is not going to have anything that is work. You're always going to have something. When one thing leaves, another replaces it. And so being able to work through that and and know what you need just in life for the things that you're doing is super important. And that's why I've talked about like getting ahead on videos, really helping me, because then I'm not stressing out at nighttime when I have to figure out the video for the next day, or that day if I've gotten behind. You know, I have more of a plan. I have some already in the queue, so I can not worry about it again till the next day. Stuff like that, where I'm on top of it enough that it opens that freedom later to have that space, to not have to stress out, to relax and kind of rest. And I think the key there is mental rest. So what's overwhelming you and what is overwhelming to you? It takes a lot of work to balance everything. If you are trying to get ahead on things and that happens, and then you have the opportunity to rest, how are you spending it? Are you doing more things that kind of just flood your brain even more? And this goes into things that you wouldn't even really think about, like what TV or shows are you listening to or watching? What podcasts are you listening to? Is that just making more brain work for you instead of refreshing you? You know, sometimes it's way more restful, even though it's the same activity, to watch an episode of Friends than an episode of Criminal Minds or NCIS or The Walking Dead or all of those intense shows that I love but aren't super restful to watch. You have to pay attention, otherwise you won't know what's going on. And it's such more emotion and heightened state of attention and all of that, that it is more effort, and it's probably not a restful option. And then for podcasts, if I'm listening to podcasts, most of my podcasts are not light and fluffy. They're deep stuff, or they're in-depth talks on something. So music is going to be way more restful than a podcast. Usually. Sometimes not, but usually a podcast is just going to make more brain work for me. And there's a certain level that's going to be good for seasons of life. I mean, taking on more, it really depends on what's going on. Right now, I can't really take on anymore at all. Like, I need to get rid of stuff I have. But finding more music, finding restful shows, that's a good thing. And that could help me in this season. In other seasons, maybe it would be the opposite. And I'd have space to, that's actually kind of relaxing. That's okay. It's fun to focus on that. And of course, I love those shows and podcasts still. But I've come to realize how much more brain work that does. And it's what it's calling out in your brain. It's what it's doing. That is the key. Not that it's actually effort to watch a TV show. It's really not effort to watch a TV show. Not that it's effort to listen to a podcast. It's not. But is that putting your brain in overwhelm and overdrive with information, or you just do not have the capacity to do something else emotional and deep with everything else going on? It's stuff like that that I'm learning also makes a difference. And I think also finding a way to release all of that. And the picture that puts in my mind is writing stuff down. I know I've talked about that a ton, especially with my planning, but journaling or writing down prayers, because then you're not holding those thoughts in your head anymore. You get those feelings out. Even though I'm not great with keeping journals, that's a huge benefit. You get it out, you expressed it in some way, and then that kind of helps you filter better, for me, who you talk to about it in person, because there's some stuff you just really can't talk to everybody about. Or it's not a good time to talk to the person that you would normally talk to about it, and you don't want to just hold it in until you can talk to them about it. So write it down, and then you don't forget your thoughts on it. I think things like that are things that would benefit me and could benefit a lot of other people that kind of tend to do the same thing that I do. I've so much my brain is trying to do at once, I easily overwhelm myself. And especially when it comes to the podcasts I listen to, or the TV shows I watch, or the YouTube videos I watch, it kind of can add to that rather than being a relaxing thing. So that has been a major new element to burnout and emotional, mental exhaustion that I have kind of been thinking about. So I thought I would share, as is normal for me. And there will be normal videos this week. I have the Sunday video already planned, and then it is just vlogging and having fun and the Turner Syndrome videos. So we're going to be back on track. And I thought I would catch up with the 2 days of the Thankfulness Challenge. I am thankful for Mental Mondays. I am thankful for the opportunity to talk about this stuff and to express it and to have that outlet for it. And I'm also thankful for the class that I'm in right now and how much it's challenged me, how much it's helped me think through things that are going to be a huge part of the way I'm starting to see I'm probably going to be applying this, because it's going to be dealing with trauma, and being able to apply that before I actually have to help somebody real with it is very, very good. So I am thankful for those two things. I would love to see what you guys are thankful for in the comments below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and share it with everybody. And if you were not already subscribed, click the screen and subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!